You can't do it.
Isaac! You were drifting away for a moment.
Hello and welcome to LandfishGTV. I'm your host Batman on today's video review for Dead Space 2. The sequel to 2008's surprise horror hit is back and more badass than ever. Once again we find Isaac Clarke in the middle of a necromorph outbreak, but this time it takes place somewhere a little more closer to home. Well, kind of. In Dead Space 2's setting, it is on a place called the Sprawl, which is a massive space station around one of the moons of Saturn called Titan. The beginning of the game shows Isaac being awakened from a coma, which we later find out that it has actually been 3 years since the incident on the Ishimura. After being found floating in space by a man named Tideman, Isaac has been under some experiments, yet to be known, and is now being hunted down by the government to keep him from escaping alive. However, the government and the necromorph horde are not the only things trying to kill Isaac. Since he was exposed to the marker for so long in the previous game, his brain has been plagued with dementia, which is slowly making him insane and is haunted by his dead girlfriend throughout the game. This makes Isaac more dangerous to himself than the government or the necromorphs combined.
Get out of my head. You're not Nicole!
The graphics in Dead Space 2 are improved and the sound design is great, yet not as good as the first one in my opinion. You know, in the first Dead Space you can hear things, moving in the walls, and you can hear a wrench clanking down the shaft, making just walking through a hallway terrifying. This is somewhat present in Dead Space 2, but not as much. Now, don't get me wrong, the sound is awesome in this game and I absolutely love the sound design on the new enemies in the sequel. One of the more interesting things about this game is that Isaac is actually able to talk, and you actually see his face more often. Even though we spent an entire game playing as him in Dead Space, now it's like we're just now finally getting able to know him as a character. This makes the story more engaging and lets us know what's going on in the story, and lets us see what he actually feels about the whole situation.
Get you to safety.
Why should I trust you?
Because I'm not the one shooting at you.
Fuck.
Gameplay and other mechanics have been improved. Aiming and walking have been made a lot smoother than before. Also, the stomping and melee mechanic have been improved as well. In the first Dead Space, you can stomp an enemy for hours swinging your gun with no result. This time, more power is given to you, allowing any enemy who gets too close to get beat down to a living pulp. But if you don't time it just right, the necromorphs could grab you, and, well, good luck with that. All of your favorite weapons have been brought back and has some improvement themselves, making them better than before. Now, what kind of sequel could this be without some new weapons to play with? This time Isaac can grab himself a detonator, which is used as a mine for any enemy who decides to cross its path with the result of a deadly explosion. Then you have the Seeker Rifle, which is a high-powered precision gun with a zoom-in capability for any of you long shots out there. And finally we have the Javelin gun, which shoots these giant nails and impels your enemies to the wall. And if it's still alive or more enemies are around its dead body, you can use its alternate fire to give them a little shock and awe. New enemies show up in this game and they are all freaking awesome in their own way. First we have the Puker, which will literally puke all over you, which will cause your rig to stiffen up, making it hard to move while occasionally hitting you with damaging projectiles. Then you got the Pack, which used to be these little toddlers who have been turned into third graders from hell. They never attack you alone, they're always in packs of several at a time. Killing these little bastards, as bad as it is probably the most amusing part of the game. They are so easy to kill and there are so many of them. Just be careful. These guys are pretty deadly when they get close. Last, you have personally my favorite enemy called the Stalkers. These guys are like raptors that you've seen from Jurassic Park. They distract you with one while another tries to flank you from the side. The AI on these guys are probably the best that I've seen yet. 1 second you will see one running to your right, yet one looking at you from around the corner waiting for the perfect time to strike. You always need to be careful. If you stay in an open area, you're just asking to get ripped apart. When Dead Space 2 starts to come to a close, the story becomes very engaging, making you wonder what could possibly happen next. Just the entire last hour of the game is absolutely amazing, with the ending being extremely satisfying. And if you have played the first Dead Space, you will love it even more. Of course, I'm not really sure why you'd be playing this game without playing the first one, but whatever. And once you have beaten the game, there's a ton of cool unlockables. Most of them are suits you actually have to find the schematics for in the game themselves, but they all look really cool. Possibly the most interesting unlock, however, is a hardcore mode. Here you have to start a completely new game where you have the least amount of ammo and the health given to you, and the enemies will slice through you like butter. But here's the kicker. You only have 3 saves for the whole game, and if you die you have to revert all the way back to your last save you made. Trust me, you have not experienced Dead Space unless you have beaten this game mode. But why would you possibly want to do this? What could possibly motivate you to play this game mode? Let's just say there's more than an achievement waiting for you when you beat the game. And yes, it's worth every time you screamed, died, yelled, or even kicked your cat for playing it. But I would just hate to spoil the surprise. Anyway, now this game is not perfect. Like every game, it has its flaws, but these are not too drastic. The first problem I have with this game is that you feel useless because everyone is dying and you can't do anything about it. Like this, for example. Oh, sorry. Everybody's full. Yeah. Also, nothing is really explained. What I mean is someone will call Isaac and he'll be like, "Hey Isaac, come meet me at this particular location." And then Isaac will be like, "I'm on my way." But then you're left feeling like, how do I get there? I have this locator, but where the hell is it taking me exactly? Oh, I'm going to the tram station? Why do I have to go through the school to get to the tram? Oh my god! And then you find these terminals to hack, but most of the time you have no clue what you're hacking most of the time, or what it's going to do when you hack them. You won't really find out until you've actually hacked it to see what it's done. I mean, other time it's obvious, like you open a door or whatever, but other time it's just really random. Okay, and really the most random part of the game was probably this.
Well, they cut us off. You'll never make it down here in time.
I'll be there!
Oh, I'm gonna be there? But wasn't she like half a mile down the city?
Emergency ejector system initializing.
Oh, those look like bars on a roller coaster. But other than that, it was pretty awesome. Possibly the biggest problem that is never explained in the game is what's going on with parts of the story.
It's all those bodies you let in here. It's triggering a convergence event.
What? Convergence event? Cool! Wait, what's a convergence event?
Oh.
Once you have had your fill with the campaign, we can move on to the multiplayer. This part of the game is actually a lot of fun and is very similar to the setup that we see in Left 4 Dead games. You know, we got the humans versus necromorph type deal, 4-on-4. Each map on the game has its own specific objectives each team has to complete. Whether it's humans trying to escape off a ship while the necromorphs try to stop them, or the humans trying to stop the necromorphs from sabotaging certain objects, and each objective is actually tied in with the main story. What's better about this than Left 4 Dead is you can actually choose what type of necromorph you want to play as. You can choose between the pack, lurkers, pukers, and the spitter. Spawning is easier as well because you can actually be seen by humans when you come out of the vents, and you don't have to wait several minutes just to play. Also, the necromorphs have the ability to see humans from anywhere across the map, allowing you to find them with ease. Humans have an arsenal of 2 weapons. Your main weapon is always the pulse rifle. However, the secondary weapon is your choice, which you can unlock certain weapons when you level up. Along with leveling up, you can unlock new armor types and upgrades for necromorphs as you play. Really, the only thing that I've had a problem with multiplayer is the stasis the humans have. It can be frustrating playing as a necromorph and all of a sudden you can't move because someone stasised you, and you can't really do anything about it and they just shoot you, and it's just kind of dumb. And also what's worse is that they have 2 shots with the stasis. Despite this, the multiplayer is extremely fun and excellent when playing with friends. What would have been an excellent addition to the multiplayer part of the game is a horde mode. I couldn't tell you how much money I would pay just to kill endless waves of those little kids. Oh, shut up, you know it'd be awesome. I mean, just to play on a map and defend endless waves of necromorphs, just with your friends. I mean, I know it's been done in Call of Duty and Gears of War 2, but we all find those fun. It's about time games in this genre have this type of game mode, especially if all you want to do is just jump in and play for a while. Overall, Dead Space 2 is an excellent game to have. Whether you're looking for a good zombie game, a great story-driven plot, or even a fun multiplayer experience, it's all here in one package. All in all, I give Dead Space 2 a 9 out of 10. But the question you're all asking, is it worth the $60? Yes, it definitely is. I highly recommend this game. Well, thanks for watching our review. Check back for the review for Dead Space 2's DLC Severed and our video for some tips and tricks for the hardcore. Hope you enjoyed this episode of LandfishGTV. If you liked the video, then give us a thumbs up or leave your comments in the section below. See you guys.
Like what you saw?
Want to see more?
Visit LandfishGTV
for commentary, news, reviews, and
more.
Yes. More is good.